Hey Psychiant crew, it's your boy, Mr. TomTom, back with another mind-bending dive into the mysteries of the human psyche and beyond. Today, we were tackling a question that has been haunting humanity since we first looked up at the stars. Do you believe in life after death? What happens when the curtains close on this earthly stage? Is there a sequel, a reboot, or just lights out? At the heart of this question lies the concept of the soul, that invisible spark that makes you, well, you. Every culture, religion, and philosophy has its own take on what the soul is and where it goes after we kick the bucket. From eternal heavens to cycles of rebirth to nothing at all, we're diving deep into it all today. So, grab a snack, get comfy, and let's explore the soul across major world beliefs: Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, Taoism, Shinto, and even animist traditions. We'll also hear from those who say, nah, when it's over, it's over. This is going to be a wild ride, so buckle up. Oh, and stick around to the end for a little reflection on what you believe. Let's do this. Let's kick things off with the Abrahamic religions, Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. These faiths share a belief in one God, and their ideas about the soul are deeply tied to divine creation and judgment, but each has its own flavor. Let's break it down. 1. Islam, the Ruh and the journey to judgment. In Islam, the soul is called the Ruh, and it's a divine gift straight from Allah. According to the Quran, Surah As-Sajdah, verse 9, to be exact, Allah breathed the Ruh into every human, giving us life and a spiritual essence. But here's the kicker. The exact nature of the Ruh is a mystery. Surah Al-Isra, verse 85, says, "They ask you about the soul. Say, the soul is of the affair of my Lord." In other words, it's above our pay grade to fully understand it. So, what happens when you die? The Ruh leaves the body and enters a waiting period called the Barzakh, a kind of spiritual limbo. It's not chilling in a void though. Some Islamic scholars say the Ruh gets a sneak peek of its fate, paradise or punishment, based on how you lived. Did you pray 5 times a day? Help the needy? Or were you, a bit of a jerk? Your deeds matter. On the Day of Judgment, the Ruh reunites with a resurrected body for the final verdict. If you're destined for Jannah, paradise, it's eternal bliss. Think gardens, rivers, and ultimate peace. If it's Jahannam, hell, well, let's just say it's not a fun place. Importantly, there's no reincarnation in Islam. It's one life, one shot, and your Ruh's fate is sealed based on your actions. Fun fact, some Islamic mystics, like the Sufis, see the Ruh as a spark yearning to reunite with Allah, like a moth to a flame. Poetic, right? 2. Christianity, the soul and the eternal divide. Now let's swing over to Christianity. Here the soul is often called the soul or spirit, and it's what makes humans special, created in God's image, as Genesis 2:7 tells us. When God breathed life into Adam, boom, the soul was born, tying us to the divine. But what happens post-mortem? Well, it depends on the denomination. Most Christians believe the soul is immortal and faces judgment after death. If you've accepted Jesus and lived righteously, your soul heads to heaven, eternal joy with God. If not, it's hell, a place of eternal separation from God. Catholics throw in a third option, purgatory, a temporary pit stop for souls needing a bit of purification before heaven. Now, not all Christians agree. Some, like certain Protestants, believe in soul sleep, where the soul is unconscious until the resurrection at the second coming. Others debate whether the soul is a separate entity, dualism, or inseparable from the body, monism. It's a theological cage match. One thing's clear, Christianity emphasizes the soul's eternal destiny, shaped by faith and deeds. So, maybe keep that in mind next time you re-tempted to steal your roommate's last slice of pizza. Winks at camera. 3. Judaism, the multi-layered soul. Judaism's take on the soul is fascinating because it is not just one thing. It is layered like a spiritual onion. The Hebrew Bible and later texts talk about different aspects: nefesh, ruach, and neshama. Nefesh is tied to physical life, like the breath that keeps you going. Ruach is about emotions and spirit, and neshama, that's the highest level, your divine connection to God. After death, Jewish beliefs vary. Some traditions say the soul returns to God, as Ecclesiastes hints. Others believe in a future resurrection where the soul and body reunite in the Messianic age. There is also the idea of Gan Eden, paradise, for the righteous, and Gehinnom, a purifying punishment, for the not-so-righteous. Here's that was the cool part. Judaism focuses more on living a good life now than obsessing over the afterlife. The soul's journey is important, but so is keeping the commandments and making the world better. Less, what's next? And more, what's now? Alright, let's hop across the globe to the Dharmic traditions: Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. These faiths, born in India, have a totally different vibe, with souls caught in cycles of birth and rebirth. Spoiler alert, it's all about breaking free. 1. Hinduism, the Atman's quest for moksha. In Hinduism, the soul is the Atman, your true, eternal self. According to Advaita Vedanta, a major philosophical school, the Atman is one with Brahman, the ultimate reality. Think of it like a drop of water in the cosmic ocean. But here's the catch: the Atman is trapped in samsara, the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth driven by karma, the consequences of your actions. Every life you live, whether as a king, a cow, or a coder, depends on your past karma. Good deeds, you might level up in your next life. Bad deeds, maybe you're reborn as a grumpy cat. The ultimate goal is moksha, liberation from samsara. When the Atman realizes it's one with Brahman, the cycle stops and you're free. It's like beating the final boss of the universe. Hindu texts like the Bhagavad Gita emphasize living righteously through duty, devotion, or knowledge to get closer to moksha. So, the Atman's journey is less about judgment and more about self-discovery. Deep, right? 2. Buddhism. No soul, just a stream. Now Buddhism flips the script. It says, soul? What soul? The core teaching here is anatta, no self. There's no permanent, unchanging soul. Instead, what we call you is a temporary bundle of 5 aggregates: form, sensation, perception, mental formations, and consciousness. These are like a river, always flowing, never fixed. But wait, Buddhism talks about rebirth. So what's reborn? It's not a soul, but a stream of consciousness, shaped by karma. Think of it like a flame passing from one candle to another. Not the same flame, but connected. Each life is a new chapter, and the goal is nirvana, complete liberation from the cycle of rebirth. Nirvana isn't a place, it's a state of total peace, free from desire and suffering. The Buddha taught that clinging to the idea of a soul causes suffering. Let go of that, and you're on the path to enlightenment. Mind blown yet? 3. Jainism, the jiva's climb to purity. Jainism, another Indian gem, has a super clear take on the soul, called the jiva. Every living thing, humans, animals, plants, even tiny microbes, has a jiva, an eternal conscious entity. But the jiva is weighed down by karma, not as actions, but as sticky spiritual particles that cling to the soul. Your job? Cleanse the jiva through strict ethical living. Think nonviolence, ahimsa, truth, and detachment. By shedding karma, the jiva rises to the top of the universe, literally in Jain cosmology, to become a siddha, a fully liberated soul in eternal bliss. No rebirth, no suffering, just pure consciousness. Jains are hardcore about this. Some monks sweep the ground to avoid stepping on bugs, protecting even the tiniest jivas. Talk about dedication. Let's keep the journey going with 2 Eastern heavyweights, Taoism and Shinto. These traditions have a more fluid, nature-focused take on the soul, and they're less about eternal destinations and more about harmony. 1. Taoism, the dual souls of Hun and Po. In Taoism, the soul isn't one thing. It's a dynamic duo, Hun and Po. The Hun is the spiritual soul, tied to your mind and aspirations. After death, it floats up to the heavens or joins the cosmic flow of the Tao, the natural way of the universe. The Po, on the other hand, is the physical soul, linked to your body and emotions. It sticks around on Earth, sometimes as a ghost, or dissolves. Taoists aren't obsessed with the afterlife. Their goal is living in sync with the Tao, think balance, simplicity, and going with the flow. Some practitioners, though, aim for immortality by unifying Hun and Po through meditation or alchemy. Yeah, they were the OG biohackers. The takeaway? The soul is part of nature's rhythm, not a ticket to somewhere else. It's chill, like a Taoist monk sipping tea by a waterfall. 2. Shinto, the Tama and the Kami connection. Shinto, Japan's ancient religion, sees the soul as Tama or Mitama, a sacred essence in humans, nature, and even objects. Your Tama is what makes you alive, but it's also connected to the Kami, the spirits or gods of Shinto. When you die, your Tama doesn't jet off to a distant heaven. It might become an ancestor spirit, watching over your family, or join the Kami in nature, like in a sacred tree or mountain. Rituals, like offerings at shrines, keep the Tama happy and harmonious. Shinto's focus is the here and now, honoring spirits, purifying yourself, and living in balance with the world. The afterlife? It's more like staying part of the family, just in a spookier way. Now let's explore animist and indigenous traditions, where the soul is everywhere. Humans, animals, rivers, you name it. These beliefs are super diverse, but they share a vibe. The world is alive with spirit. 1. Animism, the soul in everything. Animism, found in cultures from Africa to the Americas to Southeast Asia, says everything has a soul or spirit. Humans have souls, sure, but so do tigers, trees, and even rocks. These souls can interact, move, or even get lost. Ever have a shaman tell you your soul wandered off during a bad dream? That's animism in action. After death, souls might stick around as ancestors, guiding the living or merge with nature. In some African traditions, like among the Yoruba, the soul might reincarnate within the family line. Rituals, dances, offerings, you name it, keep souls in check and the community thriving. It's a worldview where the line between physical and spiritual is blurry, and that's what makes it so vibrant. 2. Aboriginal Australian beliefs, the Dreamtime soul. In Aboriginal Australian cultures, the soul is tied to the Dreamtime, a timeless spiritual realm where past, present, and future coexist. Your soul comes from ancestor spirits in the Dreamtime and returns there after death, often to the land itself. There's no clear heaven or hell here. Instead, the soul stays connected to the sacred landscape. Think Uluru or a riverbed. Rituals and storytelling keep the soul's link to the Dreamtime alive, ensuring the world stays in balance. It's a beautiful reminder that, for some, the soul isn't just in you. It's part of something much bigger. Okay, we've explored souls that soar to paradise, cycle through rebirth, or vibe with nature. But what about folks who say, hold up, there's no soul, no afterlife, just game over? Let's talk about the atheistic and agnostic perspective. For many atheists, consciousness, including what others call the soul, is just the brain doing its thing. Neurons fire, thoughts form, and when the body dies, the brain shuts down. No soul, no afterlife, just a return to the void. It's like unplugging a computer. Poof, the program's gone. Science backs this up to some extent. Studies on brain activity show consciousness is tied to physical processes. Near-death experiences? Some say they're just the brain's last hurrah, like a fireworks show before the lights go out. Agnostics, meanwhile, might say, maybe there's something, maybe not. They're open to a soul or afterlife, but don't commit without evidence. It's the ultimate, I'll believe it when I see it stance. This view can feel stark, but it's not all doom and gloom. Many non-believers find meaning in the here and now, building relationships, chasing dreams, or leaving a legacy. If there's no afterlife, every moment counts even more, right? Here's the thing. This perspective forces us to confront mortality head-on. No safety net, no second chances. It's raw, but it can inspire some serious carpe diem energy. So, where does this leave us? Let's put these ideas side by side and see what pops out. 1. Eternal versus temporary. Abrahamic faiths see the soul as eternal, heading to a final destination, heaven, hell, or God's embrace. Dharmic traditions like Hinduism and Jainism also believe in an eternal soul, but one that cycles through lives until liberation. Buddhism says there's no permanent soul, just a process that ends in nirvana. Animists and Shinto see souls as part of an ongoing, earthy existence. Non-believers? No soul, no continuation, just fin. 2. Body and soul. Some faiths, like Christianity and Islam, lean dualistic. The soul is separate from the body. Hinduism's Atman is distinct, but tied to Brahman. Buddhism and some Jewish views lean monistic. Mind, body, and soul are interconnected. Animists blur the line entirely, with souls in everything. Atheists say it's all physical, no separation needed. 3. Purpose of the soul. For Abrahamic faiths, it's about divine judgment and living for God. Dharmic traditions focus on liberation from suffering or karma. Taoism and Shinto emphasize harmony with the universe or nature. Animists see souls as part of a living, interconnected world. Non-believers find purpose in life itself, no soul required. 4. Afterlife or not. Reincarnation rules in Hinduism, Jainism, and some animist beliefs. Abrahamic faiths bet on a one-way ticket to eternity. Buddhism has rebirth, but no fixed soul. Shinto and Taoism keep souls close to Earth or the cosmos. Atheists and agnostics? They're betting on nothing, or at least nothing we can prove. All right, Psychiant fam, we've been on a wild ride through the soul's many faces, but let's bring it home. What does this mean for you? Beliefs about the soul aren't just abstract, they shape how we deal with life. S big moments. If you believe in an eternal soul, maybe you're motivated to live righteously or seek enlightenment. If you think this life is all there is, maybe you're all about making every second count. Either way, these ideas push us to ask, what's my purpose? What's worth living for? Here's a little challenge. Take a moment to reflect. Do you lean toward a soul that journeys on, whether to paradise, rebirth, or the cosmos? Or do you think this life is the whole story? There's no right or wrong answer, just your truth. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm dying to hear what you believe. And that's a wrap, Psychiant crew. From the Ru to the Atman to the Big Nada, we've explored what the soul means across the globe, and what it's like to say there is no soul at all. If this video got your brain buzzing, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. Want more on spirituality, psychology, or the mysteries of existence? Let me know in the comments, and I'll cook something up for you. Until next time, this is Mr. TomTom from Psychiant, signing off with one last question. Do you believe in life after death? Stay curious, fam.